Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, James.
Good to see you after a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Hope all went well with your trip.
Mm-hmm. How'd you fare with Derek? You guys have a good
It was
time?
great. It was it was very good. It was I wish I had that guy's memory. It's just amazing. Derek just and uber organized. I am none of those things. So, yeah, it was great having him on.
Well, thanks, Derek, for filling in. We're back this week with, did you even say, I guess you didn't know what we were going to talk about last week because we just figured it out yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, we were trying to come up with something to do. And, we had talked about revisiting the various Mac models. Because originally we did the retro Mac of the week, and then that ran its course. And then I thought, well, what are some of the newer Macs or the newest old Macs, the newest retro
What
Macs
was
that
new
might have
back when we started? Sure, right.
That we wouldn't have talked about because they were too new. And then I was thinking about the original Mac Mini. That maybe we hadn't talked about that, but it turns out we did, right?
Yes,
a couple of times. So
yes. Speaking of Derek, I'm like, have we? He's like, yeah, you've twice before you've.
Well, when was the last time? Did you look that up?
See.
Did you send that to me?
He sent. I still haven't sent you the guide. I'm sorry.
Because I don't think probably the last time we talked about it was probably many years ago. There have been some.
We did in 2009. In November 2009, and then we did it again in January 2020.
So that wasn't that long ago. So we must have talked about what you can do with it.
Maybe
because that came along in 2018. But anyway, we'll do it again.
That's right. But a different take.
We'll give it
a particular thing about the Mac.
Well, I'm sure we talked about that too. We must have because it was around.
I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. It's too late now. We'll talk about it anyway.
Speaking of Derek's in the chat. Good morning, Derek. We got 65 Scribe. We've got Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. I see Steve from Mac 84. Charks. Hello, Charks. Hello, our good friend from over the waves, Michael Mulhern in Australia. I see Wright, who is a lot closer, living in Shalimar as he does. Trina. Oh, good morning, everyone. Scarlet Swordfish, Jeremy, gee whiz, the gang's all here. Hi, guys.
All right, before we get too far, let's record this audio episode, okay?
Let's do it.
In 3, let's see here. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 603 for February 13th, 2022. Good morning, John.
Good morning, James.
We had an extended conversation with the YouTube audience. A lot of participation this morning, so thank you all for coming. John and I had settled on talking about the Mac Mini G4, first generation Mac Mini, even though we had talked about it a number of times before. But hey, we're running out of things to talk about, so we have to... We got to go back, revisit our own past.
It's a revisit. Yes.
And what did you say the last time was? Oh, Derek
2020.
Pointed out 2020,
yeah, Derek,
25 January. So what specifically we talk about, I don't remember. But maybe we missed this. Maybe we missed talking about.
Well, I certainly hadn't tried it. I don't believe
you hadn't tried it. Okay, so that's new.
That is new.
That's new. Yeah. All right. So we'll talk about that later. We'll catch up on eBay finds. We got some news. News includes a couple new things you can put your good money down on. One upcoming. We got a little preview. Maybe we'll get the creator of this later. I'm being very vague.
KG. Yes, yes.
Yeah. And then a cool little gadget we found. So, yeah, lots to talk about. All right. Well, we'll be right back with some eBay finds. Okay.
But Derek, maybe that's a 603E though,
603.
so it's okay. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
604 is going to be the really good episode. All right.
That was always very confusing when they first came out. Because I'm like, you had the 601, 603, and 604, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what would you think in order of how good the processors were, right? You would think, 603 has got to be better than the 601, right? No, not even by a little margin. And then you have the 604, just like, it's just, that was some crazy, I'm sure it was like some marketing scheme. It's like, hey, we'll call this one the 603. We'll sell more of these.
All right. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. And 3, 2, 1. It's time for eBay finds. Last week, you and Derek talked about this PowerBook 5300 CS untested, but with a printer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Untested. Did they have a power supply for it?
No.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Well, the printer, the color, the style writer, color style writer, the portable one, that's kind of a cool find.
That is actually, I think, the cooler of this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this one's still up for auction. Oh, no. Correct. It ended on February 11th. It sold for $61 after 5 bids. So, yeah, if you get that PowerBook working, and did at least the printer turn on? Did they have a power supply for that?
Well, even if it powered on, they didn't have anything to connect it to try to print. Or
I don't see any.
If they had working inks, still.
I don't see a cable or anything for the style writer either. So, boy, yeah, you might be missing a few necessary parts on that one. Okay. And then the Hyperdrive.
Yes. Oh,
the box.
Yeah.
So look at that. Boy, that's cool. This one still has a buy it now of $948.10 on the high side.
Just a bit.
But there is a make an offer. Yeah. And then there was this. It was a 128K Mac in the box, produced in week 9. I guess it was all working, right? Did they have this one powered on and in good shape? It sold after 38 bids. Dun dun dun, $1,454.
Amazing. Just amazing.
Amazing. Well, I mean, look at that with all the original packaging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Box is in pretty good shape, considering.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll begin this week with this. The title says Vintage Apple Macintosh Rare Promo Employee Only Blanket 40 by 66. It says it was a promo item given to original employees for the holidays. It is in amazing condition. No tears, rips, or pulls. One of the fringes is separating from the main cord, which is fixable. Ultra heavyweight. Definitely good to keep you warm. Super rare. What else can I say? Let's look at those pictures. Okay, so
this would look so cool hanging on a wall.
Oh yeah. Now it's what is that, blue? It's like a dark blue, but it's got the 6-color Apple logo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them woven into it, and it's got fringes along the edges. But look at that. I mean, that's the back side there, so you can see.
When you first showed me the picture of this, I thought at first it was a very wide scarf because of the fringes.
Yeah, it's the detail's amazing. Blanket. I mean, would you use this? It looks more like a wall hanging. Really.
It really does.
Yeah. Look at that though. I've never seen one of these before. It's got to be rare.
I'm really surprised you didn't just
snap this
buy
up.
this. Right. Yeah, because price-wise, it's not bad
Not bad.
considering
All
it
right, I'm
definitely
buying
looks
it.
official.
Unless somebody beats me in the chat to it right now. No, I don't need it. I certainly don't need it. It is cool though. I mean, look at that. It's just
Right.
you can
Yeah.
just tell the workmanship is awesome. It's a buy it now of $199.99, or you can make an offer. Ships from New Jersey. It is tempting, but
Yes.
boy, if I didn't have too much stuff already, somebody in the chat buy that.
Somebody will.
That'll
Yeah.
be beautiful. Display that on
Steve, I want to see this behind you on the on your next live stream.
All right, let's move on.
All right, next up we have a very nice Apple Macintosh II with color video network and floppy cards, 40 meg hard drive, 2 meg of RAM. This is working. You've got pictures of it connected to a monitor. This does not come with a monitor, nor keyboard or mouse, but I would guess anyone bidding on this is somebody who's already well into the collecting game will have spares of that. Looks in very nice shape. Yeah, it's got a couple of very nice cards in it. This must have had a pretty low starting price because it is currently 7 bits, $105 right now. That's 3 days, 3.5 days to go. This is going to be a good buy for somebody.
Oh my gosh. It is. It's like immaculate.
Tested and working. That is great.
Look at that. Even got all the feet. Look at that. So
now they
normally,
mentioned it's a PC floppy card. Now, so it connects between Macintosh and a very rare original Apple 5.25 inch PC compatible floppy disk drive.
Oh yeah, I have one of those.
Wow.
Behind me there, and I don't know that I have the card for it, but look, there's the top lid. Normally, a lot of these, the top lid, you get those little tabs get broken too, and they're all intact. This is one of the nicer ones I've seen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can see in the top, maybe a hint of yellowing along the edge there, but my gosh, I give that a 9.5 right there. And so how long we got to go on this one?
It is 3 days, 11 hours.
Yeah, just make sure you get this one well packaged.
Oh, yeah.
They do include shipping from Nebraska. So, okay.
What's last?
Let's go to this one. This is 1984 Apple computer, the Apple Collection Catalog. Now, the Apple Collection was the collection of Apple logo merchandise that Apple sold, and I have a lot of the old catalogs, but I've never seen this particular one, which is kind of a narrow form.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's
and it's dated in '84, and they've included some of the pictures from the inside. You kind of open it up, and in it are photos of the items. Now, you can see like the original Picasso Mac sweatshirts and T-shirts in there, and backpacks and things. Of course, all your favorite bold, bright colors from the '80s. This one, though, is great because never have I seen this particular sweater. And I think I've taken it out here, showing I've got one. I'll take it out later here for the YouTube audience. But you see the one that the little sweater there with the six color logos on the
sleeve and
sleeves and across the chest. Yeah, I had never seen that in a catalog. In fact, I wasn't even sure where.
But you have the sweater.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think it's the same one.
Wow.
It's got to be the same one. Well, I'll get it out later. We can show the home audience and see if they think it's the same one. But yeah, see the little 6-color logo on the collar, on the left collar there.
Oh, really? Oh, no, I can't quite make that out.
Can we read? And what's crazy is does it say that it's Patagonia? Is it a Patagonia bunting sweater? Yeah.
What the heck is a Patagonia bunting sweater? What? It says Patagonia right underneath it.
Yeah.
Patagonia sweater men's.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a Patagonia?
Well, that's the brand. Patagonia is an outdoor clothing brand. Yeah. Or no, it's a different one. No, it's the sweater, the one above. I can't tell what's what. No, I guess the Patagonia one is the red one.
Are those red ones? Okay, so that almost
I
looks
think.
more like a jacket or than a sweater. But
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, I think the one that we're talking about here is the it says Apple Colors Race Around Our Bright White Sweater. So that's the one. So it
Got
was
it.
what $38. But anyway, I'll take it out here. So yeah, look at that. I love this catalog. Lots of cool stuff in there. Oh, if only you could still order these things. Look, there's the director's chair in the back of that image.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the catalog, unfortunately, they want a lot for this thing. More than 2 of those sweaters at $100 is what they want. No make an offer. $100. This ends in 6 days. Okay. Shall I grab the?
Oh my gosh! So some of the comments here, the Apple version of the Wesley Crusher sweater, bunting sweater, a sweater for tiny birds, and my Patagonia comment, it's a mountain range in South America, but that's not important right now. Thank you, right? Fantastic. Oh my gosh! And Steve recently got some Apple training video laser discs from eBay. That is fantastic. I still have my Laserdisc player. It's awesome. All right.
Look at that. It's even cooler. So yes. So here, let me.
Well, yeah. Hang on a second.
All
Let me.
I'll go full screen on me.
Yeah, please.
Or well, at least on the two of us. So, yeah, here it is. This is the one that's in that catalog. And I guess I never noticed that the sleeve, right? The 6 colors on the sleeve is just on the one sleeve.
Yeah, I noticed that in the picture. I thought that was an interesting design choice.
Asymmetric, just on the left sleeve, and then of course the collar you fold it over and it's got an embroidered 6 color.
That's
logo
very nice.
There. Those are mine's a little. I don't know if it's yellowed over the years. Those look very white in the catalog. But yeah, 30% wool. And I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. What's awesome about this thing is the tag actually has the Mater Tectura.
The Mater Tectura font.
Yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, how cool is that? So awesome. All right. Okay, let's move along. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
I hear the siren. They're coming to get you. They finally.
I'll be right back.
You won't get me alive, coppers.
You need
Dave,
matching pants.
The matching pants. I think they're just white pants. Of course, I have many pairs of white pants, so I don't know problem there.
But it's after Labor Day. Wait, or is it before Labor Day now? Because it's
the New Year.
How does that work?
Those people are having a lot of fun, aren't they? Look at that. I wonder if it's like they're all dressed for a family photo. It's a good-looking family there, though. Okay. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Well, I guess this will be the third time that we featured the Mac Mini in our podcast. But we're going to focus in on a particular aspect of it that we may not have talked about, but certainly John hadn't tried to do it before. That is
right. Mm-hmm.
So there was a limitation on what you could, what operating systems you could run on the Mac Mini. You could only run the classic 9.2 through the classic environment, right? You
had to boot into OS 10.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then from within then you ran OS 9 kind of at the same time. Were there really any limitations? I think maybe you took a performance hit a little bit. What would be the limitations, though, of running it in the classic environment instead of booting directly?
Well, I mean, there were I know a lot of games didn't necessarily want to run in classic environment.
It was like a compatibility mode. I mean, it was running it.
Right.
It was running, an image of OS 9. But yeah, there was quirks to it, and so
Right, because
ideally,
it would run that application. It wouldn't necessarily run, I think, all the like if you had After Dark in that classic environment. I don't think it would run that, or maybe I don't even know if like input sprockets and stuff like that would work properly running through
yeah,
the classic environment.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so it took many years, work of a lot of people, to figure out how you could boot directly into OS 9
Hmm.
on a Mac Mini, which is great because then presumably you have all that full compatibility and
We're going to get into some
well,
of that.
or maybe not. So, I mean, a little bit. I mean, well, it was January 2005. Okay,
Hmm.
that these things were announced, and actually the first desktop where was you had to bring your own keyboard, mouse,
Sure,
monitor,
sure, sure.
everything, to try to get a low cost Mac, and really, I think a significant milestone, right, in Apple history.
Absolutely.
That
It
they're
was
thinking
it was
about
a great
low cost
low
entry
cost. It was a
level.
great, like, if somebody was thinking about getting into Macintosh, it was a great starting point if you're already a PC user and had the
Yeah,
keyboard mouse. Hmm.
right, right, and actually, pretty good complement of ports, right? I
Hmm.
mean, look at 4 USB ports. I mean, they didn't skimp on that.
Firewire.
Firewire, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you talk about
Built-in networking, right?
built-in, yeah, DVI
Hmm.
port, which is, I guess, more or less sort of standard at the time. Wasn't exactly VGA, so you still had to
But you
do
could
it as
get an
adapter.
adapter. I've been
Yeah,
using, actually have been using mine with a VGA adapter for
yeah,
quite some time. Yeah.
yeah. And I was looking to see what these things go for these days, and they're actually they're pretty scarce. Like if you go on eBay and just type Mac Mini G4, there are a number of them that are being sold by resellers that are, they spray Windows
Crazy
on them
overpriced.
and then charge
Yeah.
you like $400 for them. Um, they have sold in the past recently, complete, working with a power supply in the $120 range. But right now there aren't any. So unless you want to spend, unless you can't wait, you're gonna have to spend $400 to $500 for these things, which I would not recommend.
Right. Yeah.
You might as well
Yeah.
get a new one. But I think if you could find one for under 100, but again, they're not as plentiful as I would have guessed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
too bad, too bad. But this is one, and so you have one. Had you done
Yes.
much with it before?
No. I was using it to run some OS 10 games. As part of my like LAN.
Okay,
So
so
I
using the
had
OS 10 side.
Descent. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. And after installing the first of all, I put a link on the YouTube channel over to Mac OS 9 Lives, which is where the particular this particular one for the Mac Mini, they've got, so they not only is the Mac Mini supported, but also like the mirror drive door G4.
Uh-huh.
There's a couple, so they've got a couple other G4s where they've got like specific images for that system, so they're kind of tweaked depending on what you're trying to run it on. So I grabbed the Mac Mini one. Installing was very easy. Now, if you already have OS 10 on it, well, you're going to have to wipe the drive to start from OS 9. Get that installed. Then I would assume you can go ahead and reinstall OS 10 alongside it, just like you could back in the day.
Hmm.
I didn't get as far as trying that yet, but I do plan to, so I can have it as dual boot. There are it's almost like in the early days of Hackintosh, where you try to like put OS 10 on a netbook where some of the stuff just doesn't work.
Mm.
So initial installation of this, so easy. You download the image, you burn it to a CD, you pop it in, you start, hold down Command C to get it to boot from your CD. It's got drive utility in there right away, so you can go ahead and reformat your hard drive, and then it's got a image restore So it's not like having to do an install from folders the way you would initially. This has got a restore image specifically for the G4 Mini. It only took, oh goodness, a minute, 2 minutes to install it, because it's basically
Wow.
just copying that image over using
Yeah.
disk restore, and booted right up. There were some really interesting things. So while I was booted from the OS 9 image, the screen kept flashing.
Hmm.
Assuming due to some sort of drive. I'm sorry, like driver, like video card driver thing. Once it actually booted into OS 9, everything was nice and stable. So Bluetooth won't work. Probably not a big deal if you're in OS 9. Not a whole lot of Bluetooth stuff you'd probably be doing anyway. But the weird thing is the audio. The internal audio will not work with this. You
Yeah, I
have to
read that.
connect a set of speakers. So I connected a set of speakers. I
Uh-huh.
verified that these speakers are good speakers. It's a fixed volume, so you have to have something that you can adjust the volume on. These speakers are up at full volume, and I can barely hear anything. I tried playing Bugnum, which is also
Uh-huh.
on the OS 9 disc. They included the demo for Bugnum, the Pangea
Oh,
software.
yeah.
And I've got the Platinum sound set going on this. And at first I thought it didn't work because I couldn't hear it over the heater out here. It was only once once the heater kicked off that I could actually hear it was actually making noise. Very, very, very quiet. Now I haven't. I wish I had another Mac Mini to try it on just to see if there was
Hmm.
something going on with this. I didn't get
Hmm.
a. I know these speakers work because I hooked these speakers up to my Mac Plus, and almost deafened me with the initial
Yeah.
startup chime because it was
Okay.
so
So
loud. So I
something
know
going
the
on with the
speakers are
sound.
good, right?
Yeah.
And so I wish if anyone else out there who's tried this, let me know if they had any other issues like that. Maybe just be that I've got something going on with the headphone jack on that Mac Mini.
Yeah, maybe try blowing it out or something. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of corrosion in there, a loose.
Sure, yeah. Who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? Yeah,
So, but other than the sound, what'd you think about
yeah. I
stability
mean,
and access to
yeah.
things?
It's been great. You came right up. I've had no, now that it's again booted to this, I've
Hmm.
hadn't had any other issues as far as like graphic glitches or anything like that. So it seems very nice and stable. I If I could figure out this whole sound issue, this would be a great if you're looking for a tiny system to play older games on, like PowerPC games. This would probably be a great solution.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Steve Mac84 says that he's heard that a USB audio adapter would be a good way to
Really?
get sound out.
If
Yeah,
if you
we got one of
would
those.
that work in OS 9? You'd have to find an OS 9 compatible one. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I'd definitely
yeah.
give that a try then. Sure.
Right. Well, cool. Um, Dave's
Yeah,
Dave's
if I
vintage Apple
didn't have
tech.
any headphones out here, I have thought about trying that, but I know the speakers work
Yeah,
because
right,
they are
right,
powered
right,
speakers, and yeah.
right.
But
Well,
all in all,
so
definitely worth
you're
it.
almost there.
It can't hurt to, right? Yeah, especially again if you go ahead and put Tiger back on, then it's
Hmm.
just dual boot, and it's just yeah, you got kind of the best of both worlds. Not bad.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Okay. Well, good. So, if you want to give that a shot, of course, get yourself one of those original Mac Minis, and then head on over to macOS9lives.com. And you said that you can also find the ISO image over at Macintosh Garden.
Macintosh Garden, yeah. I don't know if they have the
Hmm.
most current one or if they have the one that's specifically for, or they may have like a more generic one, but
Okay.
they do have it over there as well.
All right. Mhm.
Yeah, this would
Yeah,
be a great
maybe.
one to run
Yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah. Especially since you could have a whole bunch of these things and tote them around. Of course, you have
Hmm.
to get monitors and keyboards and mice for all of them. But
Yeah, and so I've got this one set for pretty pretty low resolution, just so things would be big enough to kind of see on screen. But it does support the full, like on this particular monitor, 1680 by 1050. No issues. That's just the tiled background screens. That's not a glitch or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
All right, let's see. We're going to get to some news. You ready?
Yep, all set.
3, 2, 1. Well, I guess a quick note on rumors. There's talk that the spring event for Apple announcements is around the corner. Some people are saying, I think, March 9th, something like that. Usual updates to the iOS line of stuff, but some talk about a new MacBook Pro, possibly featuring M2.
Really?
I know.
Wow.
I'm kind of getting anxious about upgrading myself. I think I'm going about on my 4th or 5th year on my MacBook Pro. I finally got it to update to the latest OS, so maybe I got a little more life in this thing. I actually thought I was gonna have to call you and say no podcast today, because I was working this morning and then the screen would just go blank, and then I couldn't get video for a while.
Oh wow.
And then I would wake it up. I would manage to wake it up, and I'd be working a while, and then all of a sudden, boom, blank. I thought, oh no, this is not going to go well for doing a live stream. So I found that I had another update, and I thought, okay, maybe this update fixes that problem. Maybe it introduces more. I don't know. And then I did the update, and of course I don't know how many times it rebooted itself. I thought, oh, now I'm really done. But here it's been stable.
Wow. So with several reboots like that, maybe there was even a firmware update in there.
Maybe. I don't know. I kind of feared the worst, and I walked away and just said, okay, I'm going to come back in a half hour. Just
yeah. So speaking of updates and our podcasting, so Derek last week, my audio was clipping again, and as soon as we stopped actually streaming, my clipping cleared up. So, I do the podcast on a mid 2010 27-inch iMac with an i3 processor. So I've gone and ordered an i7 quad core to pop into this thing. I was able to buy one cheap off of eBay, and it seems like it's a pretty easy thing to swap out the processor. So I may get a few more years out of this 2010.
I think there's a video of Macintosh Librarian doing just that.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So, well, maybe there'll be cause for.
Yeah, I'd love to see some new hardware come out. Yeah, absolutely. Still waiting for a new desktop, guys. Come on, Apple. Get with it.
Yep. All right. Look at this cool thing. This is over on Etsy by the seller artist CC Cool Art. It says mechanical keyboard, 80s Macintosh shape, retro personality, translucent keycaps, escape plus tab. So what is exactly going on here? These are probably 3D printed. I don't know. Little Macintosh, like classic Mac keycaps that you would pop off your keycaps from your keyboard, and then you just pop one of these on there. If your keyboard is illuminated, it would show that through the little monitor. You gotta look at the video here or the image of these things to kind of really appreciate what's going on here. There's a little video here, and I'll play this. You can see how the keys work. And so you can see if you set up the tab with the escape, then you've got a place to put the little keyboard for the little Mac.
I like it kind of magnetically centers itself. Yeah.
Yeah. Really cool idea. And I think the seller makes other stuff that use this concept beyond just the Mac.
But I love it. So cool.
got the little smiley, and I think there's different little
There's
images you can
inserts.
put on the monitor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It
You
comes
got
with
the
a little
smiley face.
sheet of 4 different. You got a heart.
Uh-huh. The 6-color Apple logo, the smiley Mac face, and what? Oh, it's Tetris.
Tetris. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. So these sell for $24.25. I guess you get the whole set. What you're looking at right there, right?
I think he's going to be. He's already got 20 people have that in their carts right now. So
yeah. Well, you know what I was wondering.
You better get on the waiting list.
There's this other picture here of one connected to just like an individual key.
So I don't know if that's just to show that it is back, underlit.
Yeah, so
if it's on a
if there's the light can shine through it if you have an illuminating source. It doesn't come with that little one keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I wondered also how standard the attachment point is on these. So you could look at the reviews, and there's a number of people that have bought these things, and they show them on different kinds of keyboards, so you can kind of get a feel. But I guess it's more or less a sort of standard attachment point. But yeah, really cool. Derek says he was given one. Very cute and well made. He uses it as a desk ornament, so he doesn't actually have it on his keyboard. And Charks says that they're from AliExpress, probably sourced from there. So
interesting. Huh.
Yeah. Derek says it's a Cherry MX keycap fitting on the bottom, which is pretty darned standard. So
yeah.
All right. Awesome things. Okay. And speaking of keyboards,
yes.
Did you got yours and I got mine?
Oh, for the for the 2E.
MacFX has shipped us our Chrome translucent keyboards for our 2E translucent cases. So you haven't gotten around to putting yours in your case. I haven't even bothered yet. Oh, John's showing his hand. He did a boo-boo on his hand. So you're going to wait until you have two functioning hands to do the finish.
Not only to put that in, but I also have I bought some voltage amp meter LED things to put in there as well, just to give me some useful blinking lights inside the nice clear case.
I see.
So
well, MacFX is added again, or will be added again soon. They have made a pre-announcement of their backlit mechanical keyboard for Apple IIcs, and they'll be available in clear, gray, and black.
So I understand when we were talking offline earlier, which was talking about as far as like the light coming up through I'm assuming he's going to have clear keys as well, like he had for the clear keyboard.
Well, it says clear, gray, and black.
Right.
So
I think part of it is so I don't know if the original 2C keyboard is a very mushy keyboard. So I think the initial thing is let's get a decent keyboard on there with decent keys.
Yeah.
But then also have the opportunity to get something that A, either looks original or B, has an extra added functionality of being backlit. So there were 2 models of the 2C, and one, or actually 3, but there was 2 models of the original 2C that had the 5 1/4 inch drive, and one of them has a really good keyboard, but most of them have a very lousy keyboard. So I'm guessing that's his reasoning. But you know what? I think we should really try to get him back on, and he can talk about it.
Yeah.
So maybe in a future episode. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to be notified when this comes live, go over to Kickstarter.com and search on MacFX. All right. Well, there we go. I think we talked about everything we decided we wanted to talk about. Moving right along. Let's do the outro. We haven't talked about next week. You're around next week?
I am around next week. Absolutely.
Okay. Got a number of things we're thinking about. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Well, let's close it out. let's go in 3, 2, 1. Well, we're at the end of another episode of RetroMacCast. Next week, we will be back, you and I. I'm not sure what the topic will be. Maybe it'll be the 2C keyboard. I don't know. We'll want to time that to
reach out.
coincide when
with
it's
the
launching.
actual
We
point.
wouldn't want to talk about it until people can actually buy in. So we'll check on that. But other than that, anything else we need to talk about?
No, good on my end. Yeah.
All right, good on my end. And thanks everybody in the chat for joining us. Nice full house. All right. Well, until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Okay. I keep thinking that I want to end the show or start the show with one of these tracks. Because these are so fun. It'd be fun to end the show with this.
Remember how we started not so long ago. We dreamed of giving everyone a personal way to grow. Our dream became reality, and now we're making history. We took imagination and let it lead the way to a new world of discovery. Touching lives every day, bringing smiles to children's faces.
All right.
Opening doors.
Well, we'll see you next week.
New places.
Remember, Apple II
Bye, guys.
Apple II